Spring has come at Mount Nangsan. Though plum and forsythia flowers announce their coming, oak leaves still make a metallic sound at the foot of the mountain. People believed this mountain to be so sacred during the Silla period that during King Seongdae's reign, the state forbade people to cut down trees here. The trail to Queen Seondeok is a dark trail now. Legendary musician Baekhyul's house was on the foot of this mountain, so it was undoubtedly near here that he comforted his poor wife by imitating the sound of a treadmill with an instrument called gamungo. While Venerable Hwangnyongsa stayed in Seondeok Temple, he played the flute so impressively on the main road in front of the temple that the moon stopped going in the sky. The 27th monarch of Silla, Queen Seondeok, is buried near the top of this Mount Nangsan. We don't know the birth year of Queen Seondeok, but she reigned from 632 to 647 as the first queen of Silla. She was the eldest daughter of the 26th king Jinpyeong and Queen Maya and was named Deokman. When King Jinpyeong died without a son, the noble elders of the state elected her as the new monarch as the Hwabaek Conference, a noble elders traditional conference, in 632. Since King Jinpyeong, her father, had been on the throne for 53 years, she must have risen to the throne in her middle age. During her reign, the three kingdoms, Silla, Baekje, and Goguryeo, fought the most fierce territorial wars, and there were bitter grudges against each other. Was there even a day when she could sleep a comfortable sleep? Looking at the curved pine trees, you may feel that the soldiers who died in the wars seem to reincarnate, bearing resentment against the queen. Now her tomb begins to be seen. It glows white, looking like a full moon or a moon jar. The queen was devout. Many would ascribe her full support for constructing Buddhist temples to her deep faith in Buddhism. For a queen, she had no shortage nor excess in her character, and she was intelligent and prominent. One day, when she didn't have any critical disease, she said to her lieges, "I shall die on a certain day, a certain month, and a certain year. Let me rest in Kausika Heaven." When the lieges asked, "Where is the heaven?" she replied, "It was south of Mount Nangsan." On the day she foretold, the queen died. They buried her remains right here as she ordered. The Kausika Heaven, a lower layer of heaven, is just over the summit of Mount Sumeru in Buddhism. The kind of heaven was where she wished to go when she died. But was that mountain really in Silla at all? After the Buddha got complete enlightenment, he stayed at the lower Kausika Heaven to give sermons to his mother, Lady Maya, for 3 months. According to Buddhist Scriptures, the Buddha's mother was called Lady Maya. Buddhists believe the Kausika Heaven is where Lady Maya reincarnates after her death. Queen Seondeok's mother was named after Lady Maya, the Buddha's mother, and the queen must have thought the lower heaven was where her mother was reborn too. Was that why she wanted to go there herself? In the heaven where Mount Sumeru protrudes its top, King Sakra lives, taking control of the 4 heavenly kings below and monitoring the human world. Queen Seondeok supposedly wished to put the 4 heavenly kings and the human world in control even after her death, like King Sakra. That's why she asked them to bury her in the heaven. Seondeok is a corrupted form of Shand. If you read the Mahamegha Sutra, Shand appears in the name of Brahman Shand. The Buddha once told the Brahman when he saw him, 120 years after my death, you will become the king of Jambudvipa, get half of the portion of the wheel-turning monarch, and acquire my relic and serve and revere it. The king of Jambudvipa is no other than the king of the human world. So, Queen Seondeok's name might have been derived from this Brahman's name. Did Queen Seondeok identify with the Brahman, not knowing herself, for she was also the queen of Silla? There is also a hint of her identification with Devi Bimalaprabha. The Buddha once said to Devi Bimalaprabha about her fate, "You will abandon the heavenly body and become a queen with a woman's body and will reign in the future over a kingdom. You are a bodhisattva, but to instruct the people, assume a female body." Suppose that Queen Seondeok believed she was an avatar of Brahman Shand and an incarnation of the Deva Bimalaprabha, who assumed a female body. During the queen's period, monarchs wished their people would consider them the incarnation of Buddha or his disciples. People would have taken it for granted that she wanted them to regard her as a favorite disciple of Buddha. Queen Seondeok appeared to have believed Mount Nangsan to be Mount Sumeru. If the Silla mountain were Mount Sumeru, the top of Mount Nangsan would correspond to the Kausika Heaven. Because her court didn't know that the queen believed like that, they asked where the Kausika Heaven was. Queen Seondeok was eager to ascend the Kausika Heaven, where after meeting her mother, she could keep an eye on the mundane world, or Silla. It is a place where she could have seen all the mundane world. To the west, she could see the palace, Walsung Walls, Yeongmyosa Temple, and Hwangnyongsa Temple in the far west. What high pagodas to the northwest! She could view the 9-story wooden pagoda of Hwangnyongsa Temple and the 7-story stone pagoda of Bunhwangsa Temple. To the east, on the other hand, she could see the tomb of her father. As this is the border between the heavens and the mundane world, Queen Seondeok wanted to lie on the border. She wanted to go in and out of the heavens and protect her human country. On the other hand, she was an assertive woman. She desired to unify the opinions of the people with her at the center, lead Silla's Buddhism to a higher level, and establish the sublime spirit and tradition of the Silla people during her reign. In 634, the 3rd year of her reign, she built Bunhwangsa Temple, a temple of the fragrant empress, along with the 7-story stone brick pagoda, in the belief that the pagoda would elevate the will of her subject to a high place. The construction might have reflected her personal desire to ascend to Mount Sumeru. The following year, another temple, Yeongmyosa Temple, was founded. It was called a spiritual and divine temple of the empress. While she often visited the temple and offered prayers, it even happened that a man named Jigwi fell in love with her. The following story is why she came to decide on the construction of the giant 9-story wooden pagoda in Hwangnyongsa Temple. When Venerable Jajang, a famous Silla priest, passed by Taehwa Lake in China, a god appeared. The priest said, as our country Silla stretched to Malgar to the north and borders Japan to the south. I always worry about the frequent invasion of Goguryeo and Baekje. The god responded, "If you go back and build a 9-story pagoda in the temple, your country will be carefree and peaceful." When the priest returned home, he requested Queen Seondeok to build 9-story pagoda. To Queen Seondeok, who had aspired for Mount Sumeru in her heart, wasn't it a long-awaited proposal? It was a godsend to lead the people's belief in one place, suppress the 9 enemies, and simultaneously show Silla's force to other countries. She might have desired to subdue even Taejong, Emperor of China, who despised her because she was a female monarch. They constructed the 9-story pagoda without hindrance and difficulty with the lead of Abiji, the first-class architect from Baekje. The construction began in 643 and finished in 645. The new pagoda had an unprecedented height of 80 meters. Queen Seondeok didn't neglect astronomy and astrology. She built an observatory, Cheomseongdae, to observe and record how the celestial beings work. She helped astronomers investigate the operations of the celestial bodies and know when to sow various seeds. She wanted to pull out the cosmic secret by twisting heavenly arms, for she believed that monarchs should see the state good or bad fortune in advance. Do many people say that man's fate depends on the will of heaven? This tomb is simple and shabby for a female monarch who was famous for her faith, ambition, and wisdom. The pine trees which stand around are not straight, all twisted and bent. The grove looks like the twisted mundane world that Queen came through. But the curve of the tomb's contour is lovely. There is not a tint of luxury. Instead, you'll find a sense of benevolence in the smooth curve. A yellow dandelion bloomed on the tomb. Oh, a flower of the Kausika Heaven. Though the queen's body might have been scattered in 16 directions, her Holy Spirit resides here as this country's mother.